Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. So one of the biggest surprises this season is the performance of Bol Bol in Orlando. He's been a huge plus for them at both ends of the floor as one of the most unique talents in the association. So let's look at his numbers first. He's averaging nearly 13 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 1.1 assists, shooting highly efficient from across the floor. His effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage show that, along with shooting 65% from two-point land. He is a highly efficient scorer in Orlando, and he's making plays at the defensive end of the floor with nearly 2 block shots per game. So this video is going to dive into the uniqueness of Bol Bol's game at both ends of the floor and how he's truly impacted in Orlando as an offensive and defensive freak of nature with a high skill set. So first, we're going to look at the offensive end of the floor and see what Bol Bol does that makes him so special. First, let's look at the transition play of Bol. So in these first few clips, it's going to look at how elite he is as a floor runner, whether he's a trail or getting ahead of the ball. He's a really good athlete in terms of getting out and running and playing in the open floor. But along with that, he does a great job at finding the ball, making himself available with his eyes and hands, and just being in the right position to go catch and make plays once he does get that clean catch. But the ability to run the floor like he does and then make himself available is what allows him to be successful on the break. But the real thing that makes him so unique in transition is his ability to catch and go off of a live rebound. So you'll see that he is one of the best players in the association that can grab and go off the glass and push the pace. He's able to push it for himself, get downhill, make plays at the rim. He's a really good finisher in the paint, as we talked about with his shooting percentages, shooting over 60% from two-point land. But he also knows when to change his pace, how to play at different paces, and he has an elite handle. So we'll talk more about this in the half court, but his ability to change pace, change directions, and change hands allows him to get downhill, create and find advantages early on the break. But this ability to really grab and go off the glass, I think, is so unique and special, and you don't see many guys in the association that can truly do it at such an efficient clip like Bol can. And I'm excited to see him continue to grow and develop in this role as he continues to grow and develop as a playmaker. This last few clips here are going to dive into him as a passer on the break. He does a good job at seeing the floor, being aware of his teammates and where they are in terms of spacing, and getting the ball there in cool and unique ways with scoop passes, with hooks over. It's really tough for defenders to cut off these passing lanes, but at the end of the day, his size, length, and skill set make him one of the most efficient players on the break in the association. Now to look at one of the more fun aspects of Bol's game is his play off the bounce. So in these clips, we're going to really dive into him in the half court and how he's able to handle the ball, make plays in space, and just be so creative with the ball in his hands. So first things first, he has a really solid handle. He's able to go either direction, change pace, change direction, and with his size and length, it's so fun to watch somebody like him be able to get downhill and make these plays. But once he does get downhill, he's highly efficient. He's one of the most efficient scorers from the paint, shooting 82% at the rim. He's able to get downhill, use that length and athletic ability to get up around the rim and finish plays consistently. Next, though, you can see that he has a really nice floater. He's able to get it up and over the defense. When he's on balance, it's a really nice shot. It's really pretty, even though sometimes it looks unorthodox when he is handling the ball. He's able to get downhill, get that foot planted, and rise up, shooting 54% from short mid. Shows that it's a really efficient shot and really hard for defenses to find an answer. But as we continue to go through him creating off the bounce, the next step is him in the mid-range. He's shooting 48% from mid-range. He's able to get in his spot, get his feet down, rise up. He has a really smooth jump shot. We'll talk about that jump shot later. But at the end of the day, he's also able to create for himself from beyond the arc. But this shooting stuff we'll talk about later. But next, when it comes to creating off the bounce, he can create for his teammates at a raw level. He only averages an assist per game, but it's the same as in transition. He does a great job at finding his teammates. It's really tough for defenders to make plays on the ball with his size and length. To really contest those passing lanes is a really tough job to ask for, unless if you're bringing a big out to the perimeter, but then he won't be able to stay in front. The quickness and athletic ability of Bol Bol. His passing ability is raw. He has the length to get the ball wherever he needs to get it. He has the height to see the floor, and he has the raw IQ and feel for the game to make smart decisions. The last thing we're going to talk about in terms of offense of Bol Bol is his jump shot. He has a smooth and fluid release. It's a really tough shot to contest with his size and length. That 7'8" wingspan allows that shot to get really high and over the defense. It's tough for anyone, even a big, to get out there and really make a play on this ball. But when his feet are set and he's ready to shoot the ball, he has a really tough shot. And I think that this is a part of his game he can continue to grow and utilize, especially as a catch and shoot threat. He's taken 49 attempts from 3 so far this season, and only 27 of them have come off of catch and shoot opportunities. The more catch and shoot will create more closeout opportunities and allow him to get downhill more. But to add more numbers to this, he's shooting only 20% of his shots from beyond the arc, but he's in the 91st percentile in terms of three-point field goal percentage. So I think the more that he uses this part of his game, the more he'll be able to grow and flourish in Orlando. Now let's flip sides of the floor and see how Bol has impacted the defensive end of the floor. Everything for Bol Bol starts with contesting and deterring offenses from getting the shots that they want. So I think these first few clips just show him being in spots makes it very tough for offenses to get the right looks that they want. With him on the floor, there's obvious differences in his plus-minus numbers in terms of the types of shots that offenses are getting. His length and size, being in the gaps, being on drives, covering the lane line, really deters offensive players from getting in the lane and getting the shots that they really want to take. You'll see that Trae Young right there had a double clutch and take a tough two instead of taking the initial floater that he wanted or pull-up jumper. Here, Miles Turner gets a great post-up. He's trying to back him down, but that length and size and athletic ability forces a tough fadeaway jumper. And here against Cleveland, Bol's presence forces an air ball. Just his length and athleticism makes him cover so much space and make plays so difficult for the offensive players on the opposing team. And then he does a great job contesting. You'll see in these clips that we're going to look at the rim first. He does a good job at keeping vertical, keeping his hands and body in the right spot, blocking off the rim, and contesting the shot at its highest point. With that type of wingspan, it makes it very difficult for offensive players, once they do get in the paint, to go make a play. He might not be the best defender one-on-one at staying in front, but he's able to contest. And as we look at jump shots now, he does a good job at finding the highest point, playing without fouling, staying down for the most part in a spot where he can recover if they do drive past him and it's a pump fake. He does a really good job at playing that cat and mouse game, but when it comes to closing out on jump shooters, he is able to cover so much ground with his length that he doesn't necessarily have to commit on a closeout to the ball. He gets to play that in-between game, and then if the jump shot is happening, he does a good job of getting out there, getting a hot hand up, jumping if necessary, and going and making a play on the ball, making it so difficult for jump shooters to get highly efficient looks. But with Bol Bol on the floor, there are obvious differences in the types of shots offenses are getting. They're avoiding the rim. They're also not getting the same percentage of shots from mid-range, and they're getting a lot more threes up. So Bol being on the floor makes it highly difficult for offenses to get the same efficient looks that they want. Then to look at where Bol is special is as a playmaker on the defensive end of the floor. First, let's look at him as a shot blocker, nearly averaging 2 shot blocks per game. He does a great job at finding the ball, timing it well, and going and finding it in the air at the highest point. He does a good job at staying vertical, making multiple efforts. He's really good at the rim, at just being a presence there, and that's a huge reason why offenses aren't getting the looks that they want from inside the paint with Bol Bol in the game. Here against Gobert, I thought it was a great clip. He stayed walled up, he made a play at the highest point, and blocked the shot. But where Bol Bol is special, he is one of the best, if not the best, jump shot blocker in the association. He does a good job at finding the highest point of the release, staying low until the shot, and then going and getting it in the air. Here against Fred VanVleet, you see that wingspan, length, and athletic ability making a play on the jump shot. Here against Philly, you hit the pull-up against Shake. He's just very tough to find and create space against, even if he is a couple feet off of you. He's able to play both the drive and the shot so easily and effortlessly that he's able to go out there and block jump shots efficiently. But then lastly, he is a really good turnover creator with that length and athleticism off of the ball. It's fun to watch him fly around, be in spaces, use that length and athleticism to blow up plays. And I think that this is part of his game that he can continue to grow as he gets more comfortable in the NBA at understanding his spots, when and where to make plays, and he's a freak of nature at the defensive end. So Bol Bol's impact and growth comes at both ends of the floor, and how he's been playing in Orlando so far this season, he's definitely put himself in position for most improved player. being an offensive efficient machine, scoring across the board, and growing as a playmaker, and defensively flying around using that length and athleticism to make plays across the board. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about Bol Bol and his impact in Orlando. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.